When the black marker was exhumed on the Earth in 2214, it defied our understanding of science. It appeared to generate limitless energy, a trait of obvious importance in our resource-strapped times. There was an effort to replicate the marker, hoping to understand its technology, thereby acquiring limitless energy for ourselves. Imagine our surprise when we learned they are not sources of energy, but receivers of it, via carrier wave from somewhere deep in space. Triangulating this marker signal revealed a previously undetected planet, now known as Tau Volantis. We hope to find the source of this signal and finally harness the energy for ourselves. And if this works, it could mean a better future for all of us. General, thank you for your time.
Dead Space brought survival horror games into a dystopian future, where humanity literally destroys other planets for resources and a fanatical fundamentalist religion has its own agendas for the race. Dead Space 2 continued this, but refined combat and tried to tell a bigger story than the first. Dead Space 3 brings even more refinements with it and also tries to wrap up the story. Isaac Clarke is again drawn into the whole marker problem, as unitologists seemingly have overthrown the government of Earth and are now on a mission to kill him before he can destroy any more of the markers that they hold sacred. Of course, wherever the markers are involved, it means necromorphs, twisted former dead humans and other things that are made by the markers wherever they may be.
Isaac, I know you're there.
The early parts of the main game set Isaac on Earth's moon as he tries to escape the unitologists with some soldiers who have, shall we say, recruited him to help find their missing agent, who just also happens to be his ex-girlfriend. Then it transitions to the more familiar spaceships as Isaac and company find themselves stranded in a derelict starship graveyard above a little-known planet. And then it finally sets them down on the planet to finish their mission to stop the markers. The story is decent, but it has some major plot holes in it, such as how did the unitologists get enough man and firepower to overthrow the government of Earth? A love triangle that really isn't necessary and adds nothing to the story, and jammed-in exposition that tries to very neatly wrap up everything in its conclusion. The game plays very much like the previous games. Strategic dismemberment is the best way to kill enemies and save ammo. Inventory management is at a premium, and puzzles pop up to break up the shooting sections. Not that this is a bad thing, mind you, as the previous Dead Space games were very fun overall, and Dead Space 3 is no different here. There are some additions and differences though. Gone is the credit system to buy new weapons and suits, as well as the power nodes used to upgrade weapons and items. Instead, new suits just become available at the suit kiosks at various points during the game, and instead of credits, Isaac simply finds spare parts to use to build weapons and upgrade his rig. This actually works because Isaac is supposed to be an engineer anyway, so it makes sense that he should be able to build and upgrade his own equipment. Along the way, players will find different weapon parts that can be combined in a myriad of ways to form various weapons, some with an upper and lower module that allow for different firing methods. But this can lead to players building weapons that are overpowered when put together in the right combination. To accommodate this new weapon system, the ammunition in the game has been simplified into a universal ammo pack system. This works well though, as different weapons take different amounts of ammo to make a single shot, and it also means that there's no need to worry about micromanaging one's inventory in order to have the right ammo available, which discouraged players from carrying multiple weapons in Dead Space and Dead Space 2. Inventory management is a concern, and not having to worry about multiple ammo types is a plus. The same spare parts used to make the weapons are also used to upgrade Isaac's rig, giving him more health, armor, stasis, and kinesis power. These parts can also be made to make items such as ammo or med packs. Nicely, these components do not take up inventory space in their raw form. Also, all inventory and upgrades are saved to players' profiles so they continue on in any game mode. Another change is the addition of side missions. These are missions gained during the main game that send Isaac off to other areas, often for items that can only be found in those areas. They mix well with the main game and add a little extra playtime. 3 of these missions, though, are only available when playing co-op. Speaking of co-op, that's the other major change to Dead Space 3. Gone is the fairly forgettable but sometimes fun competitive multiplayer from Dead Space 2. Instead, players may invite a friend to play as John Carver, a soldier in drop-in, drop-out co-op. There are some benefits to this, besides having someone else to kill necromorphs. First, as previously mentioned, it opens up the co-op-only side missions, in which the player playing as John Carver actually sees hallucinations that the player who is Isaac does not. Second, it changes some of the dialogue in the main campaign, as well as some but not all cutscenes. It's a good inclusion overall, especially for the co-op only missions. One great feature is that any item dropped in co-op is available to be picked up by both players. This makes for a much easier time gathering resources, health, and ammo when playing, as one doesn't need to worry about screwing their partner out of items or being screwed out of them themselves. As per the series' past installments, the graphics and audio are superb. Even minor details seem to be high priority in level design, and the lighting effects are spectacular. The sound and voice acting is, for the most part, extremely well done. But all is not great within the Dead Space universe. There are some glitches, especially with the new scavenger bots that can be acquired in the game. When joining a friend's game, for example, many players end up losing one or more of their scavenger bots, never to be seen again. Sometimes one player will be able to drop multiple scavenger bots in an area, while the other won't see any ability to do so, even if that player hasn't collected the resources from that area before. Also, as mentioned, not every cutscene is changed to reflect the co-op nature of the game, which makes me wonder if co-op was really designed from the get-go or added in later. The story also has the aforementioned plot holes, and the love triangle added is really irrelevant and adds nothing to the overall plot. Then there's the way in which the writers tried to clean everything up in one fell swoop. It feels rushed and doesn't really answer anything of importance when I look back at it. There's also built-in microtransactions as well, spending real money to get in-game items. Since there's no competitive play though, this doesn't really hurt the game too much. Plus, instead of using real money, some of the items picked up by the scavenger bots, the ration packs, can be used instead. And since it's their only use, that's not a bad thing. And then there's the Day 1 DLC, or more aptly, the Day 1 paywall. As all the quote downloadable content unquote available since launch is actually already on the disc. It's just hidden away behind a paywall. I'm really getting sick of on-disc DLC that is nothing more than a money grab by the publishers. If it's going to be DLC and charged for, it damn well better be more than a 108 kilobyte download when bought. I guess one other con is the fact that Dead Space 3 really isn't all that scary. It's more survival action than survival horror. But, truth be told, I didn't really find the first two games scary either, even though some of my friends were freaked out by the first one. Overall, Dead Space 3 is a really good game. It's fun if you are into the previous installments. The co-op can be great fun, especially when playing as John Carver and seeing and hearing things that the player of Isaac can't. The weapon crafting can lead to some really cool designs made by players, even if some are overpowered. The in-game microtransactions are easily ignored, and the on-disc DLC isn't really anything that's going to make or break the game. Fans of the series will enjoy it, as well as fans of shooters in general.
Trying to kill me!
Isn't there an off switch?
No! Wait. Yeah, there's a yellow fuse in the center. I'll try to shoot it.